Now the point is, this article, this is published already by small research, small enterprises research, Taylor and Francis. I just want to reflect. And I remember 2 years ago, I presented this proposal here before publishing it. Yeah. Topic title is Entrepreneurial Orientation and New Zealand Family Business Growth, Performance, Environmental Effect. Trying to look at what role does environment play when you run a business. Now, the objective is to examine the entrepreneurial orientation and the New Zealand family business growth, taking into consideration the after effect of environment. We use quantitative method. Basically, we use partially study. I use partially square for the data analysis and structural equation modeling for measurement of validity and reliability, and the structural model and bootstrapping method was used to test the significant pathway. And this is the demographic: male 70, female 47 participants. We hypothesize, we run an hypothesis, 7 hypotheses to find out, if one particular orientation will affect, business growth. Of course, when we talk about entrepreneurial orientation, we're talking about two perspectives. We have a unit dimension, we have a multi-dimension. Unit dimension is 3 dimensions we are looking at. Multi-dimension, we're looking at 5. I'm not going to talk much about that. You can glance through the hypothesis because it's going to waste my time. We look at proactiveness. You have to be proactive when you run a business. We positively influence New Zealand family business. We guess, we assume. Innovativeness, we positively influence New Zealand family business. We assume. We assume all this, and we assume that environmental hostility. We moderate because we are looking at how environment could moderate the relationship between entrepreneurial orientation, one unit, and the business growth. That is one. Now, if we say the two relate, proactiveness relates with growth, then what mediating factor will environment play on it? That's why we run 7. I will show you now. This is an hypothetical model that we prepare for it. We use PLS for this. You can't run this without you passing it through PLS. PLS will design it for you and will calculate for you. I'm not going to go through the calculation. I want to show you this because it's going to take my time. Now, these are 3 areas that is important in terms of hypothesizing. We look at 3 hypotheses on EO dimension, which is proactiveness, innovativeness, and risk-taking. Will it affect business growth? We have 2 hypotheses on environmental influence. We affect the relationship between EO and business growth. We now look at it here. We hypothesize too that mediating role, environment would play a mediating role between the relationship of EO and business growth. Now, we try to measure out now. We pass everything through structural estimate, hypothesizing it to test out. These are the hypotheses. Based on this, and based on this, we identify it like this. You can say hypothesis. Innovativeness, we have relationship with business growth. Proactiveness, we have relationship with business growth. Risk-taking, we have relationship with business growth. And if you come here, we say dynamic environment and risk relationship. Dynamic environment, we have a sort of controlling relationship between risk-taking and business growth. We do the same thing with dynamic environment. We have 2 environments that we're looking at: hostile environment and dynamic environment. And each of these environments are related to the 3 dimensions of EO, meaning that environment will affect the 3 dimensions of EO. Environment stability will affect what is it? No, hostile environment will affect, and moderate environment will affect too. We are looking at the 2 together. I can't really get myself. Now, we tested everything through beta, through t-value, and we make decision based on that. Testing through this t-value, the interpretation here says, from the model or from the software says, by the time you get your t-value up to 1.96 or 2.58, we say it's significant. We agree that the hypothesis is positive. So we're looking at this, innovativeness and business growth. We have 3.58 here, which is more than 2.58. So we said the hypothesis is supported. We look at this, 2.36 supported, 3.4 supported, 2.96 supported, 2.4 supported, 2.5 supported, 1.38 below is not supported. We're rejecting that because the hypothesis, what we hypothesized, we didn't get it through the measurement. The rest from this, not supported, they are below either 2.58 or 1.56. So they are more or less rejected, but we have to interpret it out. So now, this is the finding all true based on this. I don't want to go, there are a lot of things in it, but these are the best I can just bring out for me to explain myself. Otherwise, I won't get here in 30 minutes. Now, the findings, what do we find? And what are the implications of it? These are the findings we found out. EO has a positive direction and positive indirect impact on business growth performance. This is supported. These are researches that have been confirmed that before. Dynamic environment promote positive relationship between EO and business growth and performance, supported by, Now, OPAIC, why is this research in New Zealand? We found out that there's no research in New Zealand that relates with EO, that is talking about, from environmental effect. That's why it's, the gap that we, otherwise, there are researches everywhere. Now, hostile environment breeds negative relationship, entrepreneurial business with good understanding of management and proactiveness, innovativeness, and risk realize positive business growth. Engaging a proactive business owners and managers will facilitate proactive position. Now, I go to business findings and implications. Dynamic and hostile environment variables exercise a positive and negative or negative influence. Yeah. Here, we're trying to say entrepreneurial family, business owners and managers should be cautious of hostile environment in the management and operations of their business. You have to take into cognizance as a businessman or a family man that environment plays. We can see during COVID, you have to trade with people in the open place, you have a business, it's buoyant, you are rich, everything is good, but when there are no people in the environment, you can't run the business. Such are the, but if you have proactive, if you are very proactive in your business and you're risk-minded, you have known November, December 2019 for you to change your orientation, maybe going online, doing something better, so that during COVID, your business will still survive. That's the essence of writing this research. It took about 2 years before I completed it, but I thank God it's published. Question, please.